In 2022, the world thought the AI race was over. America had ChatGPT. Google was building its most powerful AI ever. Microsoft invested billions into OpenAI. NVIDIA suddenly became one of the most valuable companies on Earth. It looked impossible for anyone to catch up. Something happened that shocked Silicon Valley. A Chinese AI model appeared almost overnight. Within days, it became one of the most downloaded AI apps in the world. Some investors panicked. Technology experts were surprised. And suddenly, people started asking a question that sounded impossible just a year earlier. What if America doesn't win the AI race? But before you answer, there's something almost everyone gets wrong. This isn't simply a battle between ChatGPT and Chinese chatbots. It isn't even a competition between two companies. It's a fight over who will build the technology that could define the next 50 years. And by the end of this documentary, you'll understand why the country with the best AI today may not be the country leading tomorrow. Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than almost any technology in history. Can write, can code, can translate languages, can discover new medicines, can drive cars. Some experts even believe AI will become as important as electricity or the internet. That's why governments are treating AI as a national priority. Whoever leads AI won't just build better software. They could shape the future of science, business, healthcare, education, and even military technology. At first glance, America seems impossible to beat. Companies like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic, Microsoft, and NVIDIA continue to build some of the world's most advanced AI systems. The United States also attracts enormous private investment and many of the world's top AI researchers. On paper, America still looks comfortably ahead. But that's only half the story. Because while the world was watching Silicon Valley, China was quietly building something else. Not one AI company. An entire AI ecosystem, universities, government research programs, cloud computing giants, chip manufacturers, and millions of engineers working toward the same goal. Most people outside China barely noticed. Until recently. 'Cause now, the gap is starting to look much smaller than many expected. Oh, how did America build such a huge lead? And more importantly, can China actually catch up? To answer that, we have to go back to where the AI revolution really began. If America looks so far ahead today, it didn't happen overnight. The AI race actually began decades before ChatGPT became famous. Back in the 1950s, American scientists were already asking a bold question. Could a machine learn like a human? For years, progress was slow. Computers weren't powerful enough. Data was limited. And many experts believed true artificial intelligence was still decades away. Then everything changed. The internet exploded. Suddenly, billions of people were creating emails, photos, videos, and websites every single day. For AI, that data became fuel. At the same time, universities like Stanford, MIT, and Carnegie Mellon were producing some of the world's best AI researchers. Many of them didn't stay in classrooms. They joined companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and later OpenAI. America had something very few countries could match. It wasn't just brilliant engineers. It was an entire ecosystem. A student could invent an idea in a university lab, raise millions of dollars from investors, and turn it into a global company within a few years. That speed created companies that changed the world. Google transformed online search. Amazon built massive cloud computing systems. Microsoft invested heavily in AI. And in 2015, OpenAI was founded with one ambitious goal: to build artificial general intelligence. Few people paid attention at the time. Until November 2022. That's when ChatGPT was released. Within just a few months, more than 100 million people had tried it. It became one of the fastest-growing consumer applications in history. It wasn't perfect, but it proved something important. AI had moved from research labs into everyday life. Suddenly, every major technology company wanted to build its own AI. But there was one problem. Training these massive models required enormous computing power. And almost everyone depended on the same company, NVIDIA. Its AI chips became the foundation of modern artificial intelligence. Whether it was OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, or Meta, nearly all of them relied on NVIDIA's hardware. That gave America another huge advantage. The world's best AI companies were using the world's best AI chips. It looked like the gap would only grow larger. But while Silicon Valley celebrated its success, China wasn't standing still. Instead of copying America's strategy, it started building a completely different one. And that decision may become the biggest surprise in the entire AI race.
For years, the world believed China was always one step behind. America built the biggest AI companies. America had the best researchers. America had NVIDIA. It looked like the gap was only getting wider. Something changed. In early 2025, a relatively unknown Chinese startup called DeepSeek released an AI model that caught the attention of the entire technology industry. It wasn't because it completely beat ChatGPT. Didn't. The real surprise was different. DeepSeek showed that a highly capable AI model could be built far more efficiently than many experts had expected. That single moment changed the conversation. Investors stopped asking, "Can China compete?" They started asking, "How fast is China catching up?" But DeepSeek wasn't working alone. Alibaba continued improving its Qwen models. Baidu expanded ERNIE. Tencent accelerated AI across its platforms. Huawei invested heavily in AI computing and semiconductor technology. Instead of depending on one company, China was building an entire ecosystem. And that strategy looked very different from America's. America relies heavily on private companies competing with each other. China combines private companies, universities, government programs, cloud providers, and manufacturers under long-term national priorities. Neither system is perfect, but both are producing results. And here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Many people believe AI is simply about building the smartest chatbot. It isn't. The real challenge begins after the model is built. Can businesses actually use it? Can factories improve productivity? Can hospitals diagnose diseases faster? Can students learn more effectively? Can governments deploy AI at national scale? This is where China has a unique advantage. With one of the world's largest digital economies, AI can be tested across manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, finance, and smart cities on an enormous scale. In other words, America often leads in breakthrough innovation. China focuses on rapid implementation. Two completely different strategies. Two completely different definitions of success. Oh, who's actually winning? That depends on what you measure. If success means building the world's most advanced frontier models, America still has the edge. But if success means integrating AI into everyday life at massive scale, China is becoming impossible to ignore. Now, the race enters its most important stage. Because the future of AI may not be decided by software at all. It may be decided by something much smaller. Computer chip. And that's where everything changes.
At this point, you might be expecting a simple answer. America or China. But after months of research, one thing becomes clear. The AI race doesn't have a winner. At least not yet. Today, America still leads in some of the most important areas. Its companies continue to build many of the world's most advanced AI models. It attracts billions of dollars in private investment every year. And thanks to companies like NVIDIA, the US still dominates the market for cutting-edge AI chips. the hardware that powers modern artificial intelligence. That is a huge advantage. But China has been solving a different problem. Instead of asking, how do we build the smartest AI? It has also been asking, how do we use AI across an entire country? From manufacturing and logistics to healthcare and smart cities, China is integrating AI into real industries at remarkable speed. That's why many experts no longer see this as a battle between one company and another. It's a competition between two completely different systems. One driven mainly by private innovation, the other supported by long-term national strategy. And here's the reality that most headlines ignore. The future of AI won't be decided by one chatbot. It won't be decided by one breakthrough. And it probably won't be decided by one country. The next decade will depend on who can solve the biggest challenges. Building faster chips. Producing enough electricity for massive AI data centers. Training the next generation of engineers. Creating trustworthy AI systems. And turning research into real economic growth. That's a race no country has won yet. Oh, can China beat America? It's possible. Can America stay ahead? Also possible. Because this isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon that could last for decades. The leader today may not be the leader tomorrow. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. Every major technological revolution has changed the balance of power. The steam engine, electricity, the internet. No, artificial intelligence is doing the same. The decisions made over the next 10 years won't just determine which country leads AI. They could shape the global economy, scientific discovery, national security, and the future of billions of people. So the next time someone confidently says, America has already won, or China has already won, remember this: the AI race is still being written, and no one knows who will write the final chapter.